Let's build our faithful and slightly neurotic droid, C-3PO. If you're building with me and you haven't already done so, take a moment and stop and read the start of the instruction manual here. It has quite a few pages of information about C-3PO, and they're really, really cool to read. It makes me feel very nostalgic and very excited to build him. C-3PO is such a iconic piece of this storyline. And I am feeling privileged to add him into our collection. The only thing that I'm fussy about is that he is not going to fit perfectly in size with the R2-D2 that I have, because I have the older one, the model that came right before the one that they just released, because the one that they released is quite a bit smaller than the one that I have, and so he's going to stand up perfectly with him, and I don't have that one. I have the bigger one, which would throw off the scene of them being together completely. So at first I was like, oh well, don't really feel like purchasing a whole nother one just because. But now I'm having second thoughts about that, because having the two of them together just feels so very right to me. So we're going to see how this works out in the long run. See if I can even actually pick up the newer R2-D2. Now, let's see. I'm making sure I'm doing this right. I don't know how difficult he's going to be. What kind of a build they've done with him. They did mention that there are quite a few pieces that had to be reprinted in gold that have not existed before. I'm not sure exactly which pieces perfectly in my mind that they are. Let's see, this goes here. Because I'm not sure, like I haven't ever seen these pieces in gold. I don't know if I've seen these pieces in gold, but they could very well have been from another set that I haven't picked up yet. Right. I'm going to put that down there. How exciting is this, though? I remember how excited we were when The Phantom Menace came out and you met C-3PO for the first time, because you absolutely loved him. Let me see here. This is going to go like this. I'm a little bit confused, but that's going to go like that. I'm wondering if we're going straight into the body, because that is pretty tall. Make sure that I did that right. Yes, I did. Okay. There would have to be a whole bunch of pieces in gold for him. There's just something about him. It's like he's whiny, but he's also feisty. It's just, and if you've watched him in the Clone Wars cartoon series, then you really get to know him even more so. So when I went in to pick him up on the day that he was released, one of the employees that worked there, we absolutely love her. She's so precious, and we're always hoping that she's going to be there when we go. We were checking out, and she was actually not checking us out. She was checking somebody else out, but she looks over and she's like, "What did you guys get?" And then she's like, "Please tell me you got him." And she held him up because somebody else was getting him. And I'm like, "Oh yes, we have him, we have him." So. One funny thing is that Matt actually was like, "Where did he come up with a silver leg?" It's like, what is that from? And it was like, I when I'd first seen it advertised and everything, I didn't think anything about it. But then when he brought it up, I'm like, where is the silver? What movie is this his silver leg and the lower half of his leg. And I could not actually figure that out just on my own. I had to actually go look it up. And it was, I mean, all the way from A New Hope. He always had it. And, oh, and it was something that I hadn't thought about. I just recognized, but didn't ever really think about it. I think because in this set, it's much more noticeable, whereas in the movie, it's actually because he's always kind of, he's always having a rough go of it, you know, and so he's kind of dirty. It wasn't quite as easy to pick up. He didn't quite, oh, he's got I know, silver part to that leg, whereas the other's all gold. So that was kind of a fun little bit of information to kind of pick up and realize. Something that we didn't realize was there. It was kind of always there. Maybe it's a leg. It sounds like his arms can be repositioned. I don't know if his legs are stationary or if they can move around a little bit. Let's see if we can flip it over. Put this on. At least his parts aren't showing. Now, how does this go on here? I've got to get them lined up. There we go. Because we're kind of squaring it off here. You have to get them lined up right to make them do that. Now, where are you? I'm missing one of these little corner pieces. I'm not missing one. There isn't another one. It just goes like that. And we're going to flip it around here and put this on. That's funny. I just assumed this goes right here. No, it goes up even more so. You need these gray studs showing like that. Okay. I really am a big Star Wars fan. They are the movies that first made me fall in love with cinema. To build another part, I have a feeling we're going to be building a whole bunch of little pieces and putting them together. Not all of them are going to make sense to us until they've gotten attached to the main part. It's always fun to me. You're building stuff and you're like, I have no idea what I'm building. And then you put it together and you're like, oh, that's why it looks fabulous. It goes there. I was mesmerized by, oh, that goes down one, this storyline and just kind of coming to life on the screen. And do I have this right? It said to turn it, and I'm like, well, why? I think it just means to lay it down. Oh, those are even like a darker gold than this one. You've got two different kinds of gold coloring there, if you can see that. What am I looking for? For this piece to go up there. We are making a leg. It started to look kind of leggy. Now let's see here. This goes like that way. Turn it this way, and it actually hooks on the end, so you've got the white and the nougat color that goes together like that. Looks like one, doesn't it? A leg that is That wasn't very complicated at all. I thought it would be much harder. But we still have a lot to do on him. A lot to do, I'm sure. Because he's got to cover up this whole side of him. This goes here, and we're going to put this little thing on the end. It's just so crazy to me how you can take the same type of bricks, but you can create something so different from the last thing that you built. All right, we're going to move on to bag 2. It's just a small little bag. I think it's probably to finish up this leg. Let's see here. When we get to a whole bunch of silver pieces, we'll know which leg we're doing. Now, first of all, I'm glad I'm catching this now. This needs to go kind of interesting. It's only connecting to these nougat pieces. It's going right in between. So there's the studs left here, and then all 4 gray ones left there, so that we have the ability to do the next part that we need to. So that goes, no. This one goes up here. We need another one of those little, where are you? I don't know what to call these little things. They look like little visors that would go on a helmet. Goes down there. I don't think I've ever worked with so many gold pieces before. They always come kind of so sparse in sets sprinkled through them. To actually work with this many feels like you've kind of landed an Arab or something. It just has 2 of the curved pieces this time, corner pieces, and then it has just the typical 1x2 plates that finish it off like that. Wait, we need this little piece in the middle. And then this squared off edge goes up. So his leg is not going to bend at all. It is going to be completely stationary. His knee is not going to rotate any, from what I can tell. This needs to come in one more. There we go. The blue pieces add a little splash of color. Let's see, this one goes here. I feel a little bit, I don't know why this part's throwing me a little bit. I'm not sure if it's because I'm trying to figure out what we're building, but I'm like, what in the world is this? But I think it's just we're still working on the top, the covering for the top of his leg here. Oops. For some reason it's throwing me. It's so weird to me how all of a sudden something will like confuse me or something, and I'm not sure why it does that. Maybe my mind gets distracted or something. Let's see. So this one's going to come up one, so 2 studs are showing, and then you're going to put a little bitty 1x1 flat inside of there. I think it's probably because anything that feels like it's like out of the norm or maybe different than what you thought it was going to do will throw you. Another really gold piece. These are positioned in a way that they come off very easily from each other. And we need another, there it is, little gold piece. Put that there. Yeah, there is just, it feels like a lot going on here. Oh my goodness, look at these. The little ski poles in gold. Ooh, that's beautiful. Now, this is going to go like that. Put that there. Make sure I did that right. We have it like this, and that's going to go on there. So yeah, we just made his upper thigh basically. Is that all snapped down good? I think so. Yeah, these are beautiful, beautiful pieces. You have to put in. So that's going to go. It's saying it's going to snap into that hole there, which it does fit down into the. Isn't that nice? Like a little joint. Okay, we have finished that portion. I guess we have to do his foot still. So on to bag 3. This is a very interesting development. It looks as if his foot is going to be built up into the actual base of it. I don't think we're going to be able to take C-3PO off of his base. I think he's going to be kind of permanently built into it. Which honestly would make a little bit of sense because he would probably be a little bit prone to fall over on his own depending on his weight distribution. But I honestly can't figure out if I like it or not. I don't like the feeling that you couldn't ever actually reposition him. He would have to come with his base, maybe because if I ever wanted to put him in another kind of scene or anything, that base would have to be involved with it. So it's a little bit interesting to me, but okay. We're going to take this piece like this, and we're going to hook his leg into that ball and socket joint there. And now he's in there. Get him down for a second. This has gotten interesting, which is always exciting. You don't want your sets to be boring. Gonna have a little bit of fun here. Put these in first, and then I'm going to stick the pins in, go in them. Of course, we did it wrong because they're supposed to go up here. It's like, wow. Completely missed that one. This is, look at this piece. I'm not sure I've seen this piece before. Loving this piece. Let's see, I gotta do one more red part on top of that. We're gonna have to pay attention here, I think. Because this is getting those two together, and this goes on top of here. We don't want to mess this up. If you're kind of doing the outer plating or something, you're not completely paranoid that you're going to mess something up so much that it won't work, but you get into parts like this, and it's like, yep, now is the time to actually pay attention, I think. At least for me. But I tend to make more mistakes than my kids do. There we go. Really, I'm quite unsure as to exactly what portion we're building right now. Going to be pleasantly surprised in a moment, I'm sure, but there's a lot of kind of technical stuff going on at the moment. Let's see here. Oh, I have not seen this piece in orange before. Absolutely love it when I see a piece in a new color, at least a new color for me. I know there's plenty of sets that I do not have, and so I think it's going to go like that. Yes. We can get it all in there. Ah, come on, pin, work with me. Nope, it doesn't want to work with me. It's always one pin that decides to be difficult. Well, it's kind of funny because I feel like it's hitting this back here, which is preventing it. What am I doing wrong? Let me check something. Oh, looky here. Turn it up where the hole is facing up, not to the side. Because otherwise it is hitting. And now I have a feeling it'll work. Yep, we cleared it over here. Wow, the littlest of mistakes mess everything up with this kind of stuff. I'm terrified of Technic sets. Do we have it in there correct? I think so. We're going to do that same thing over here. So let's make sure that we get everything put in properly this time. Have another one of these. Face the hole upwards on both of them. Put it in, everything faces up. And then we're going to flip it around. There we go. So it should look like that. Wow. Slightly complicated. I always feel so accomplished after I make something that's difficult. Strutting around here. Look at what I made. So proud of myself. So funny, the older that I get, the more I am like so much more willing to be proud of myself for the little things and not be embarrassed that I didn't know something. Or it's actually exhausting, I think, being young and having to find yourself and feel insecure, I think, in a lot of ways. And then the older you get, the more you realize that so many things that you were so self-conscious of when you were young, they really don't matter anymore. It's okay to be wrong about things, or I think it goes like that. Complicated little guy. It's okay to learn and grow and be exactly who you are. Let's see here. Put those on top of there. Oh, we're making his middle. We have to do our stickers. It did come with a sticker sheet, which I have mixed feelings about it. I would think that he would have deserved to have printed pieces on everything. He would have ranked that honor. But make sure I'm putting these on right. Just try to get him on really well. I don't have that lined up just right, so I'm going to be really fussy about him because I want him to look really good. I think that printed pieces look more professional than the stickers because you can see the seam on the stickers regardless of how well you put them on. And so I would have loved to have him ranked that completely professional kind of look. But I'm sure in the end he's going to look absolutely fabulous, and I am just being fussy. There we go. It looks fine when it's on him. So we're going to then take his leg here. Oh, it got really tall on us. I'll hold it down for a second. So we're facing it this way where this contraption we have at the bottom here. We're going to turn it this way. Oh my goodness. So we've got 2 sockets and 2 balls, and we're going to put it together in there, which this is definitely not wanting to work for me. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing wrong here, because they have it facing this way. And then they're saying go like this. So it's like, is it supposed to go back here? Oh, it's not at a perfect angle or straight on, it's at an angle. So you have to kind of rotate it in to snap it in. Okay. There we go. So then his backside is kind of at a perfect angle to his leg there. Very nice. All right, bag 4. Looks like we're going to go up the other leg. Oh, wait, that goes this way. So this should feel somewhat familiar from the last one that we did. I suppose it makes sense that we're starting here at the legs and the feet so that everything can go up above it. Where are you? There you are. See, the little round plate goes on that side. I don't remember the little fence section being on the other one. That might be new. Wait, this should be the one that has the silver leg. Wouldn't that make sense? I actually picked up the Chewbacca model when it went on sale a bit ago, and I need to build him. It'd be interesting to see how he compares in size to this one, especially if you were to actually compare them like in the movie. Because wouldn't it be cool if you could get, you know, the 3 of them to be together? That would be a lot of fun. I'm going to have to check into that and see. So we're going to spin this around, put it right there. I actually picked it up because I was always kind of curious about him. Matt was pretty sure that he was... Why do I not like what's happening here? Okay, no, I'm not supposed to turn it. I don't know why I thought I was supposed to turn it. We're going to leave it just like that. He kind of thought he was ugly. He didn't like the way that he looked. I've probably told you this before. And so we had never quite picked him up yet because it was kind of a question as to whether we wanted it in the collection, but I couldn't figure it out. I wasn't sold on the fact that he was weird or ugly looking. I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick him up and I'm going to find out for myself, because a lot of times it's different when you actually get him into your home and build him in. Although we did see him built in our local LEGO store, so we are kind of familiar. And I didn't actually think he looked bad. I was like, you know how difficult it would be to make this to look anything like Chewbacca? So I was pretty impressed that they got him looking as close as they did. But I think if you put him next to C-3PO and R2-D2 and you actually started to build up a collection, then it would be pretty epic. We have our first silver piece going in. Nice little silver leg. But it's going to make it all the more important probably to get the correct size of R2-D2. But I'm going to have 2. It'd be kind of odd if I display them next to each other, so I might have to move the bigger one too. Be another section from where I'm displaying these. Which I suppose I understand why they didn't necessarily... He would have had to have been really big. Very tall. To be able to fit in with the R2 that I have. And so I can see why making him a little bit smaller would have been a good idea, but it doesn't necessarily help my budget any to have done that. And they did such a good job with the first one. Actually, it was the second one. There was one before, what I understand. Now let's see. This is going to go. I'm very confused on something. It's because these pieces have been put in and were throwing me off. Yeah, they put a whole bunch of pieces in at once here. And so it confused me as to what was going where. There we go. Now this comes up one more. That's how it's supposed to look. It's kind of weird to be making it in silver, because it's like, no, he's gold. It's actually going to be cool to have the two metallic colors next to each other. So we're going to do some plates and, excuse me, tiles. And then that's going to go on top of there like it did the other one. Nice little circle part of this would be his knee. This lovely silver color. I actually prefer the color silver to gold. Kind of funny. I don't have a problem with gold in any way, but I love silver. It's funny how we have color preferences. This is going to go up here, just like that. So there are 11 bags, I believe, in this set. We've used up quite a few just to make the legs, but they're probably the tallest part of him. So this part is not metallic down here, they just have that light gray going in there. And something is off because I have a whole bunch of pieces left over. So what in the world did I miss? I'm going to go figure it out. Here they are. I don't know how I missed that. 4 of them get lined up here, and I just plopped it on there and didn't even look to see that that was supposed to be sealed up. Okay, now we're ready to move on to bag 5. I'm going to flip this over. Start down here, making sure that they don't go up onto that dark gray piece there. Now, where did you go? Oh, this piece is fun. I haven't seen this piece in that silver metal before. I am looking for a piece that is hiding from me. He has to be in here somewhere. Wow, he was really trying to hide from my eye there, which is so funny. Something just disappears. I wonder why your eyes do that sometimes. Just can't quite detect it. I have to make my eye appointment to get a completely thorough eye exam. It's one of the medicines I'm on. I have to have it done annually, and I'm not looking forward to it because they do like a ridiculous amount of tests. There we go. Couldn't get it in the right spot there. I have to do all kinds of stuff. But it has to be done, so we'll get it done. But okay, the curved edges go down, and the gold squared off edges go up. I don't like doctor's appointments. I never have. It's kind of funny how it's something we try to avoid, like the dentist. Who wants to go to the dentist? I think that's how it goes, and then it goes up here. This is the upper part of the thigh that kind of threw me last time, but this time it feels a little bit more comfortable. Let's see here, where are you? This piece goes down. Oh wait, that's the part that's kind of funky because it goes, and you have to put the little thing underneath of it there. So excited to see him built. He's such a fun character. I think one of the things that's fun about him is that he's not shy about just kind of, I don't know, kind of freaking out, panicking and stuff. I mean, we watch these movies and there's all these completely epic heroes and you're expecting these amazing things out of all of the characters and stuff, and then he comes along and he's just like fussy and grumbling and, you know, just like, oh my goodness. And it more normal, I guess, more maybe what most of us would probably be more so than perfectly scripted responses and everything. He just feels maybe something we can relate to a little bit more. On this side, he's just got the gray ski pole that we're used to finding in sets. Push it down in there. It's a nice looking leg though. Now let's see what we're gonna do here. We did this part last time too, didn't we? We're putting these little black ones on. That lined up right. It always cracked me up when Han Solo called him the professor. So many times I think of him that way. The little professor. Now we're gonna have to first put this piece down because that piece just doesn't fit on there unless you do that first. Okay. Now it's going to have to get interesting again soon because we will have the leg put on. Let's see. Need one more of those down there. And we have kind of his part of his torso built in. That is because we have to flip this. I'm like, that is not going on. Flip it over here, and that kind of wants to confuse me. His arms could be tricky because they actually have that movement ability. I'm trying to figure out if that one's supposed to be showing or not. No, something doesn't feel right here to me. I think I've made a mistake that I'm going to correct real quick. I think that this piece right here is supposed to come all the way down. And then this piece goes here. I had it shifted up one too far. It's not supposed to be all the way on that top. stud. Now it goes like that. And that actually makes more sense for what we're going to do next. I just got that a little bit off, and I was throwing everything off. That's how it works sometimes. So here's his little foot. Hook it in right there. Seal it up there. Not a huge amount holding them together, but right now we're going to have to put him into here, and it's going to go in at that angle again. There we go. Those are some nice looking legs. Oh, we got to attach this little ball down here too. Okay. See? Very nice. Okay, we'll move on to bag 6. It looks like we're going to start working on his base that he stands on, which appears to be on the sands of Tatooine. Very fitting. So there's something that has always confused me, and I don't know if it's just I haven't been smart enough to figure it out or not, but I know that C-3PO's memory was erased when everything went down and Anakin became Darth Vader. But was R2-D2's, because he said did he say have the droids' memories erased, or did he just say have the protocol droids? Because I'm trying to figure out. Wait, this goes on top of this first. Because there's parts that make me wonder and feel like R2-D2 knows what's going on. He knows Obi-Wan. But then when he meets up with Obi-Wan doesn't necessarily act like he's familiar with him. But Obi-Wan didn't have his memory erased, so he would have been very familiar with exactly who R2 was. So was he just kind of trying to keep that a secret so that Luke didn't catch on to everything? Is it possible when the first 3 were made, I'm sure George Lucas knew the entire backstory of everything, but nobody else did, so they weren't necessarily making that a big point that he kind of knew him. But it kind of feels sad to me that it was like old friends getting back together, but then there was like absolutely nothing that would have given you the idea that they were old friends. If you think back to the history when you watch all of the other movies and shows. Well, let me see here. Something feels off to me. Oh my goodness. There were 2 of these in here. And then this went on. Like that. I put that in too soon. Oh my. Oh, that would go back on it. Fits better, that's for sure. Make sure everything's pushed down again. Now do we have it right? Yes, because I'm like, well, how are these supposed to go? These little pieces were not going to fit at all. It's okay, we got it fixed. There we go. Now there's a lot of things going on here, so we're going to take it one step at a time, figure out where everything gets put in. That all goes there. Keep going around in a circle here, maybe. Oh. That piece did not want to get up off the ground. It was lazy. It just kind of did a counterclockwise circle around, and I think we got all of the pieces in. Oh. Yes, actually, that is correct. It has to go there. I don't know why I thought it should go one further, but that's not correct. I got a whole bunch more pieces that are going to go in here. These little things can be so tricky if you get, like, exactly how does this go to have the other one nest inside of it, but if you can figure out one of them, then the other one will kind of angle in there perfectly. So these, yeah, it's perfect that he's on the sand, I think. They are just throwing a ton of pieces at us to put in here. Gotta get all the angles right. Let's see here. This one goes here. Could not find this piece. That one goes there, but then my eyes are having such a hard time picking up what in the world they're doing here. I think it goes like that, and then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side here. So let's see if we can figure it out. Don't forget these quarter circles that are actually in the center here. You're working so much on the outer edges here, it'd be easy to miss those in there. I would be one to do it. Now we need one more of those. I'm not sure what these are. They're like corner pieces with a cutout. I think I have everything in there, but I am not confident about that. I'm really actually going to hook him down in here. So let me see. The green parts go towards his back side. And then you're going to push it down in there. Now I know he's tall and off the screen, but since we're working down here on the base, I'm going to let that be for the moment. Put that in here. Now it says we need 4 of these. It was such a hard time seeing exactly where they want. Wait a minute. This one is wrong. This one goes like this. And that goes there. You really got to pay attention, but since it's all the same color, it can be very difficult to see exactly what you're doing here. There, I think that's how it goes. But don't worry, we're not done yet. Going to keep the chaos going. Now this is a true corner piece. It's going to fit up here. And then we're going to go to this side. Kind of building up around his feet. Which I'm trying to figure out if I'm okay with the way that it's sticking up in there, because this one looks to be going down lower than that one, but hopefully I have it in there correctly and we won't all of a sudden have a problem later on. Alright, I'm building up a big sand pile around him. I'm going to cover up that red piece in there. We need 2 of these to go into there. I'm actually kind of nervous because that's up, but I don't think it's going to matter because they're just kind of covering it up. So it's possible that that's the way it's supposed to be, and I'm just paranoid for no reason. I think I didn't cover that up all the way though. I'm going to take that out. Those are supposed to go back one more to truly cover it up. That's supposed to all be visible for this next part here. And then we need the piece like when I poured it out of the bag, it must have scattered over there. I was like, I'm missing this piece, but he had just taken a little trip to the other side of the table. I'm going to turn it around, work in the front here. I mean, I can see his little feet are so small that it would have been very difficult to probably balance him. So it's probably better that he is on the base. It's just kind of interesting to me that he is. He's still going to look absolutely fabulous. To kind of work inside of his feet there. Let's see. That goes there, and that goes that way. Yes, that's correct. We're going to actually build a portion of his torso here. Not his torso, I'm sorry, his abdomen section. Hook it on, but we're going to have to zoom up when you hook it in because he gets just right off the screen, isn't he? I don't know why that's... There we go. But we'll still have more to do because we're definitely don't have enough pieces to make up his whole middle section there. Pieces going that way. Yeah, they make sure to point out that the little indents are supposed to go towards the black. Let me zoom up here. Put this piece in right here. It looks like it goes to fit right there. Okay. And we can move on to bag 7. It looks like with bag 7 we're going to build his torso up. Getting pretty tall over there, but I thought it would just be easier to kind of build this here at the table level versus trying to actually show all of him at the same time there. He's actually going to be a little bit taller than I had anticipated that he might be, which is actually really cool. It's a pleasant surprise. These pieces right here you used to find not very often, and now they use them in everything. It's wonderful. But this part right here, it looks a little bit technical. Not bad, but I'm going to try to make sure that I'm paying attention so that I don't mess it up. And I have a feeling we're going to be putting on quite a few stickers. So this gets laid down like this, and that goes on like that. Oh! Well, I wonder what this is for, because we're going to have a moving mechanism now. Wow, my hands and brain wouldn't work together. It says to click them in. Make the sound here. There we go. I wonder if this is for his arms. Yeah, that would be the right, if they were like, if these are maybe the shoulders. Hard to say just yet. Now, why did that come off? There we go. I had to run some errands today. Had to pick up something a little important. I had to pick up some decorations for my fall tree. You guys probably think I'm absolutely crazy, but it was always so sad to me that you only had the Christmas trees and the Christmas lights in the house for just, a month or so. And I love the warm glow that they give and everything. Then you had to put it all up. And so I started kind of seeing on Pinterest and such that you can take a Christmas tree, but decorate it fall. Did I do that right? I did, but it looks interesting, doesn't it? So I started one last year, and I just kind of started to, I'm going to double check something. It's really bothering me, but I think it's correct. But this year in one of the stores, I saw that they actually put out their, like the ball ornaments that they have all over the Christmas trees, But they had them in for fall. They're catching on, the retailers. You could have just gotten a color in the Christmas section, but these are like perfect fall colors, and they're like velvet covered. Flocked, I suppose would be the better way to say it. And I had a feeling, I was like, these are going to disappear. When people figure these out, they are going to be gone, and I'm buying them way early, but I want to make sure that I'm able to pick some up. And so we were out on errands, and I thought I'm going to kind of sneak over to that store and check it out. And sure enough, they had them, but they did not have very many of them left. And when I saw them last time, they had a lot. So I was like, I knew it. If I didn't grab them soon, I was going to miss my chance. We're going to turn this up like this, I believe. Yes. Okay, this is interesting, isn't it? Of course, now I'm trying to figure out how early I can actually put this tree up. Because last year I think I put it up the 1st of November, so you could kind of enjoy it. Is October too early? Okay, we're going to build 2 of these next things. It's kind of funny how there really is 2 kind of camps of people in this holiday decorating thing. Some people just hate it, that it's up so much, and then other people, like me, become a little bit fanatical about it. I think Matt could probably be fine with pretty much anything, but he humors his wife and allows me to fill the house with as many twinkle lights as I can put up. I really don't like putting those in. They fit in there very snugly and are great for securing pieces together, but there's for some reason they just really fight my hands. Let's see here. There should be one more. Here he is. He was just hiding from me. The only problem with starting the holidays so early is that when you actually get to the holiday, sometimes it can feel like you want it to be over with because it's kind of, I don't know, been around for so long, you don't want it to lose its magic by any means. Oh, no, I have to turn it. I did do that right. I was going to put another one of these white squares in, but it's like, nope, nope. That would have been the wrong choice. So it's a tricky balance, I think, between enjoying them, but then not wearing out their welcome. Now we have 2 of these, and they've taken it and they've, make sure I'm holding this correctly. They've put them there. That's very interesting. Now they flipped him around, and it looks like he's this way. We're going to do a couple arches. I'm actually really surprised. I thought this back was a little bit bigger, but we're kind of just cruising through the pieces here. So one there, and then we're going to put another one over here. Let's mimic what we just did. I let the dogs out earlier today, and there was a squirrel hanging out by the bird feeder. I don't know if I've just got the right kind of pole or what, but they haven't managed to figure out how to climb up and dump all the bird seed out, but all of the seed that the birds kind of kick out and lands on the ground around it, they just enjoy all of that. And since the birds don't go down there as much, I'm grateful somebody is using it and it's not going to waste. But he was down there on the ground, and normally as soon as they hear the back door open, the little critters are smart enough to know they better skedaddle because here comes the hounds. But he just stood there, and I'm like, you gotta move. And here they come. They're just barreling out the door, and I'm like hollering out the door, squirrel, move. I didn't want him to get caught. He moved at the last minute, but my neighbors probably are like, why is she now hollering at a squirrel? Probably used to me at this point, though. It's a nice little size torso, isn't it? Okay, now they've turned it up like this. And we have kind of a triangle, so to speak, which is more like a right angle. I'm going to put them in there on both sides. There we go. Now, I thought we would be putting stickers on here, but, oh, we are. I think we maybe come far enough for that point, but we have, and now let's see what they want us to do. So just this big piece, they want us to take sticker number 3, which is the biggest one, and put it on here. Dreading this part. Let's see here. It's really hard to know that we have it somewhere we're happy with and that it's straight. I don't think it's perfectly straight, but I think it's acceptable. So we won't try to rip it off. Now, wait a minute. Something feels very off here. Oh my goodness. Now that is just so weird. Oh. Wow, I really messed up the job there. This one back here wasn't supposed to go back there. I don't know why I thought it went behind. It goes up here. I'm not sure how I messed that up. I think it looks like a picture now. Okay, we'll move to bag 8. There's a lot of gold here, so we're obviously going to be working on the outside of his body. Whenever there's all predominantly one color, that's when my eyes always start having a hard time picking out what I'm supposed to find. I watched my son build the big Ultimate Collector's edition of the Millennium Falcon and the Venator, and I just like, oh, that's a lot of gray. That's a lot of gray pieces. He just breezed right through it. Didn't seem to have any issues whatsoever. Now, I'm kind of curious. It almost looks like there's supposed to be markings on one of these. Oh my goodness, there is. This is printed on right here. Okay. Like, are they just showing me that it sparkles, or? No, sure enough, they have a printed piece. Of course, I can't find the other piece I need out of all of these gold pieces. Here we go. I really don't have a clue what part of this it is on his body. Look at this. I got distracted there because I saw these pieces in gold, and these pieces I've never seen in gold before. Maybe it's one of those new ones that they did. Right now, this is going to go. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We need those pieces. I got distracted over the right piece. Okay. Let's go like that, I think. And then it goes up here. Okay, so it's just the top of his chest there. Now we are going to flip it over. Last night we turned on. Oh, turn that around. The second half of Fellowship of the Ring. And we got Wally, our Cocker Spaniel, it's not quite been a year since we've had him. We got him when he's just a baby, and surely I have watched the movie since getting him. But I'm beginning to wonder if I haven't, or maybe I didn't watch it with him when he was around or something. I don't know. If I haven't watched it for that long, I'm actually kind of impressed with myself, because normally I don't go more than 6 months without turning one of them on. And he started pacing the floor. It was weird. I didn't know what his problem was. I thought, okay, do we check? Does he need to go to the bathroom? Does he need to eat? Does he, what is his problem? Does he need a toy? And we were constantly trying to figure out why he was so antsy. And the longer the night went, the more antsy he got. He couldn't settle. He couldn't rest. He kept just kind of squirming all over the place. And I was finally like, what in the world is going on? And at one point, he was kind of roaming around, and I hadn't quite connected yet that it could possibly be the movie that might be bothering him. Wait, how are they putting these in? Okay, so there's basically a top, and then these come down on the side. So they're actually putting this the side, the drop down part of the brick down like that. And at one point he was pilfering around, and Frodo put the ring on, and he was talking to the eye, Sauron. Or not talking to him, but Sauron was talking to him. And Wally looks up at the TV, and he just freaks out, and he's barking at it, and then he just kind of runs away, and I'm like, is it the movie that's scaring him? Sure enough, we turned it down, and we tried to just come over here and sit by us. He was a nervous wreck, and we determined that he really doesn't care for that movie at all. It can sound, for most of it, probably very intense. So I can understand it. Poor guy. He was stressing. we turn enough movies on, and we're huge action movie fans here. I mean, it's not like he's never heard a movie that sounded intense or had a lot of loud noise in it, so I am not sure what it was about those sounds that he really didn't like. Let's see here. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Goes there, and then there. It's kind of heavy, isn't it? Why do I feel like that? No, I think it's right. They just kind of overhang here, which may mean that they kind of can pop off easy, so I kind of have to keep an eye on that if you get under them real just right. Now this is a printed piece too. How lovely. Put that on there, right? It's got his middle section, so it's kind of interesting because they printed these two, but then they didn't print these. We're going to actually put his torso on his body and actually do some building up there. So I'm going to have to kind of move things around here. All right, I believe that these yellow rods are going to go into those two holes of that light colored brick there. And I don't think that it's, I think it's going to be basically where we can move it real easy. I'm sure it's going to get secure here in a moment, but yeah, and it might actually be these pins that actually make it secure. Yeah, because there's holes here, and these are going to go through, and that's what will hold his torso in place. So we're going to push these in, but we got to somehow get them into that. Oh my goodness, that could be a little bit tricky. It's got to go in the bottom one, and it should push. Oh, that one pushed all the way through. Okay, what's your problem over here? There we go. Okay. Because it's wobbly enough that you could get the holes just a teeny bit off, and then it wouldn't work right. Now, what do they want us to do over here? Find some little bitty pieces. Looks like they're going to go right here and here. We're going to build up the same thing, but kind of mirrored of itself. Going to kind of seal up. It looks like we're sealing up his lower half of his torso here. This gets turned this way, and this gets put on. And then this goes right into here. Well, that works very nicely, doesn't it? That's very well designed. I'm impressed. Flip that over. Make sure we're keeping it lined up just right. And then it should fit right in there too. Very nice. So this goes like this, and then I'm a little bit confused on exactly where it's going here. I'm thinking it's going there, but no. It's going up when they're leaving that hole, it looks like. But are they? Oh boy. They are not leaving that hole. I've put this on wrong. They only have it going into one of the studs, like that. And then they have it turned this way, and it's going like that. Well, that was tricky. So now we're going to do the other side, but we're going to put it in just one of the studs, turn it up, and put it in. All right. That was not too crazy. This is going to go on this side and then grab the other one with the other angle to go up on this side. Just going to put all of his clothes on. His parts don't show anymore. I'm going to put a sticker on. Here, it looks like sticker number 6. Oh boy. It's not too bad. But we've got to put this on the other side and put number 7 on the other side. Okay, I see how it's working. I see how it's going. So then this one goes over here. Oops. Now, why are you not cooperating? I don't know why. I think it's because of the curve. This thing was getting in the way, and that was not working very well. So I think it's going to go. I'm a little bit confused on where it's supposed to go. I think it's going to go like that. But I'm not loving that, but I think that's how it goes. It kind of almost has to. All right, we're going to put the other side together, so we'll need stickers number 5 and 4. And we'll see, because they're showing this side more so I'm gonna make sure the other side we're just supposed to know that it's done in the same placement, but I'm a little bit worried that it doesn't want to come off. See, it's going this way on it. All his wires going the same way. Oh my. And then they've got it turned this way. What I can't figure out is, yeah, it has to go there because it can't. It looked like more of this grill plate was showing, but it couldn't be because it wouldn't have anywhere to connect, I don't think. All right. There's only 2 more stickers left, so I think we're doing a pretty good job. I haven't messed anything up horribly, which is always my greatest fear, so always proud of that when I can accomplish it without totally messing up the job. Looks like we're building another covering here. It's interesting, there's a hole there. But I think that is what they want, so we'll leave it there. Now they're leaving this side. I had to look at that for a minute. They're only using 3 of these slopes. They're leaving this one empty, and it's going to go right here on this side. And then we're probably going to do the other side here because it looks to be the exact same thing. I'm going to assume that we're doing his left side there. Right side, I guess, be his right side. Go. This one under there, I'll stick it in now. And we've got 4 more, nope, not there. 4 more of these on. I wonder if they'll do the arms next, or if they'll do his head. My goodness. It's a little fiddly. So then that goes there. I'll put a couple more of these little slope pieces on to kind of finish him up. Now this is curious. There's a couple of these pieces. I don't know when they told us to put them on, but they're actually up here. Oh my goodness, where did I miss that step? Well, I hope you caught it faster than I did. Okay, now we're ready for bag 9. I'm actually going to work back down here a little bit lower level. But it looks like we're going to do something that would have gone up on his, or will go up on his back. But what I might do, I peeked a page ahead to see what we were actually building. And we are going to build his head. But first I have this one little part, but I'm going to build it and then I'll put it on in a minute. Now, what have we here? This is not on right. Okay, so these studs have holes in them. And we're actually going to, instead of placing between the rods, we're going to use the rods for the placement so that there's a little bit of space on each side. But I will pop this on when we zoom back up to put the head on. So we can build the head down here where it's a bit more comfortable. So we'll put his little pack on in just a minute. But first, let's check out his head and see how awesome it is. Because we know it'll be awesome, right? Now this, I'm a little bit confused on. It looks like this goes here. I flung that piece right into the dog bed. Right, we need, there's one that's a dog bed that I put right underneath the table here. Because there's usually a puppy that wants to be close by. They always seem to want to be that. My grandmother calls them Velcro dogs. And that they are. That's cool. One of these longer slopes. I haven't seen that in gold before. Now let's see, what are we doing here? His face is going to be fun to do. They always, I mean, the design must have been very challenging. And so very excited to see what they do here. It looks like it's going in like that. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. But I would imagine that this would have been quite the challenge to get him to look like C-3PO. It always seems to be the faces that are so difficult when you're doing any form of art. Am I doing this correct? There's something that I don't like over here. I missed something. Not surprising. Needed to put one of these sloped pieces right there. There we go. Now we're going to do the same over here. Like, why does this side have it and that side doesn't? Well, my eyes didn't pick it up the first time. That's why. Now, why won't you go on? I think this thing has moved over a little bit too far. Difficult, difficult. Okay. Now, put it, oh, we'll put it on this way. I'm feeling very, what's the right word? Unsure that I did that right. That one gave me a few difficulties here. If you push down, it all pops off of itself right now. So, oh, and it's crooked, but it's on there really tight. Okay. So we have that on there, and then they're going to put that there, stack 3 of these little round plates. The artwork piece that I'm creating uses these little round plates, just like the pixel art designs that LEGO is making. And I actually was calculating up the size to make the base to, we need a square to put it on. And I was trying to figure out how big I needed the base to be. And I calculated up that it's going to take over 3,000, which I got the appropriate number, but I hadn't, I had tallied up, okay, I need this many in black and this many in red and this many, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know that I'd ever actually added all of them together. I just made sure I bought the correct number for each one. Over 3,000, and I figured that up yesterday, and the first thing that went through my head was, I don't want to put 3,000 of these down. But it looks like I'm going to. Let's see here. Doing the same thing that we just did. A couple more of those slopes. Now wait a minute, I've done something wrong. Oops. You're not supposed to go there. You're supposed to go up there. I must have twisted it without realizing it. Like that. There we go. Now what side do you go on? Turn it around so this is facing, okay, it's gonna go. Wow, that doesn't make any sense at all. Oh, it does. It just kind of smushes in there. Okay. That is pretty cool. Oh, looks like the mouthpiece has been printed on. Very nice. Definitely didn't look like it was going to fit into that little hole, but it did. So, and we still have it facing this way. We're going to put it like that. You can see probably the back of his head here, I'm assuming. I feel very out of my league at the moment. This is crazy. One of those parts that make absolutely no sense of what you're doing. You just have to completely trust that the designers know exactly how to get you from start to finish, and it's going to look perfect when you get there. I'm not a very trusting person. It's probably a bad thing. But I get nervous, and that comes out when I'm building sets. I get anxious. I'm just like, how is this going to look like a head? Isn't that silly? Just follow the directions and everything will be just fine. And I know that it's not like I don't actually trust that it's going to be perfect, because I know it's going to be perfect. But I still get all the jitters. So silly. Now what have they done? Okay, they put a square up there. Put these up on top here. We're still working at the front here, but we're going to do, they say to build 2 of these. So they're putting a little 1x1 square plate on each of these corners. And then flipping it over and putting this little silver circle. Spin it around, and let's make sure we put these in correctly. So it looks like they're going to fit here, which is probably the back of his head. Oop, like that. You know, he wouldn't have a brain. He would have a computer. And the brickheads are always kind of putting in something that's kind of pink or something that kind of looks like a brain, but his would need to look more like a little computer going in his head. Maybe that's what this gray piece is. His little motherboard. Now they've turned it this way. Okay. Oh, they're going to work with this part back here. So they bring this and they put a little disc on it. I think my favorite is the more the matte, almost shinier than this color right here. This looks like gold to me. This looks more like a shiny yellow. Now, where did you go? There we go. Working on the back of his head here. Did that get down there straight? It looks like it. I believe that this is one of the new pieces that were actually made, that they were describing in the front of the book. So we're talking about these quarter circle domes, and I definitely have never seen them before in anything, so that's very, very cool. They put two of them on there, and then we're going to do... When we're building this piece also looks new, so it looks, oh wait, spin that around. Looks like they had to make some new pieces. Excuse me, my goodness. Could not figure out what I was saying there. Make some new pieces to actually make the head work, which I can understand because rounding anything off can be very, very difficult. The piece selection to make really nice smooth curves it can be a little bit tricky. Now we're going to take some more of those, but we're going to put these little base plates on first. Put them right here. I feel like it's not pushed down all the way. There we go. There. And one more piece to go to there. So obviously we've got his little eye spots there. We're probably going to attach something next. So we've got these dishes, and those are his eyes. Put a little. That's actually works really well. They've got this translucent yellow piece, and then put that in. Look at that. Put his little mouth on. Oh my goodness, he really does look like him. That is crazy. I did not actually think that he would look like him that much. I'm so impressed. We're going to put a couple of these round cog looking things. And then we're going to zoom up and put both of these pieces on. This one's going to go on the back, and this is going to go on his head. All right, we've made it up here to the top again. This piece is going to fit right into there. There we go. Make his little back paneling, and then we're going to just push his head down right on top there. There we go. Isn't he a handsome droid? Very nice. All right, so I think that all that's left is his two arms. Kind of a tricky little build because the camera angles are making it to where you have to go up and down and up and down. So we're back down again. And we're going to put together his arms. I'm actually very excited about this part because I know that they have movement in them. So it'll be very interesting to see how they make that work. And he looks really good. Very, very good. They did a fabulous job making him look just like the character. He doesn't look weird or oddly grotesque in any way. He just looks like C-3PO. A cute little miniature form on your your desk. Alright. Now it says I'm going to build 2 of these. So I think I will put this together all the way through these 2 pages, and then, oh wait, we need this on the bottom of this piece. There we go. And before I turn the page over, we'll go ahead and, oh, that's nice the way that works. So I'm going to make another one that's exactly like that up to that point. Make it a little bit easier than flipping back and forth so much. Let's see here. Let's see if we can finish this guy and put him where he can be proudly displayed down with all of the other Star Wars sets that have been quite a growing collection, it seems like, recently. I told myself you're going to have to stop buying Star Wars sets because you have nowhere to put them. If I get to the point where I start fussing about buying a new house, one that has a better display room, then I know I'm in trouble. Alright, we have 2 of those built up the same. And then we're going to go ahead and follow the next steps. This is actually quite a lot going into both of these. It's kind of nice that they're having you do it at the same time, so to speak. I think one kind of funny pet peeve that I have is, especially when you're building ships and it's got, you know, a wing on this side and a wing on that side, you build it up and then you think you got past a point and then it says, oh, build a whole nother side, and it's like, really? I kind of like to be able to maybe do something like this where it says, okay, build up 2 of these, and then I understand, though, if they have to be, you know, right and left type of thing. But I guess his arms are similar enough. Push that in there. They can do it this way. Now we're getting to the end of this next page here, so we will stop and go back and do the other side. It looks like they're wanting us to do the exact same thing over here. Yeah, because it says it needs 2, so we're going to flip that up. And right, now we're going to finish this one up over here so that we have both of them. We're ready for the next turn of the page. I really love these black pyramid looking pieces. They kind of get hidden when you put the little covering on, but oh, nope, not there, up here. Wrong spot. But they're very nice nonetheless. Now I'll put you in. There we go. Can't forget these little quarter circles they're putting in there. And that lovely, very gold color. Now we can turn the page. It looks like they're actually going to put them on too. Now, how does this go on? They're telling us to bring it up. That does not make any sense at all. Okay, that was very tricky. I had it like this, and I'm like, they want us to put it in like this, but it obviously doesn't fit. But they also show that it needs to rotate. So I was like, okay, rotate it up. Oh, magic, it works. But that was confusing. So it does go in exactly the way that they say to put it in. We're going to go ahead and do this one right here before we forget what in the world we're doing. So it would go in where the sharp angle would be going off to this side. But if you spin it up like this, then it actually fits. Wait, I did that wrong. Turn that around. There we go. Okay. That was really confusing. So they're making sure we do everything kind of on both sides. Kind of assuming we can be smart enough to figure out that they want it to look the same on both sides. I'm not sure why they think I would be smart enough to figure that out, but we'll sure give it a go. Oh, that one slid up there. Now, we have one more little covering to do up here. And he is done. Now we'll put him over here and try to figure out what we did over to this one. Oh my. There's a reason they give ages on these sets. But I imagine there's a lot of young people that are much smarter than me. Well, at least I'm being able to pick it up a little bit quicker than me. I get around to it. It just takes me a minute. All right, we're ready to zoom up and put these on his arm sockets. Now, I don't think it matters because we built them the exact same way, so we're just going to snap them in there. And he has really great rotation. That's very nice. Now they have some pieces left, so I'm thinking, yep, we got a little bit more to do here. But first we're going to pull off these little wands from this little plastic thing that's holding it. And we're going to push these in. That is not correct. We're going to snap these in and then push the little wands into there, which is very interesting. You have to put this end in. Okay, I really struggled with that one. Now, on the inside of this, where are they wanting us to put this? Well, I have messed something up, but I really don't think that I saw it wrong. My only concern is that I must have flipped this piece, not realizing it, because this piece right here with the curves, it needs to be in this spot. I need to flip these two pieces, and I really don't know how to do that without tearing it apart. So I'm going to try to see if I can swap those. It's on both arms, so somehow I made the same mistake twice, and then we'll see if we can get it put on correctly. Well, I have them both off. I actually found that this piece right here, if you put it in the bottom of the piece and then you just kind of pulled, it actually did the trick. It took me a minute to figure that out, though, because I was having a really tough time. So now we're going to make it to where the rounded piece is on the lower part of this and not the upper part. I really hope I didn't guide you wrong there. But now that we have it incorrect, we're going to put his arms back on. And then these little pieces are going to go, let's see, up like that, I believe. And we'll make the other one. Wow, I don't know how I messed that one up that bad. It's just crazy. You think you've got it all figured out, and then you don't. Now, they're kind of funny the way they're just sticking out there, but I guess maybe when they go down like that, then they look correct. Okay, on to our last bag, and we hope we can make the lower half of his arms without messing it up. Looks like we have the pieces for his arm, but it also looks like we have the pieces that we're going to need to make his plaque that goes with him. I'm going to kind of set those aside. Ooh, look at this. He's a little mini one. I won't get hasty and build him first. I'll be patient and set him aside there. But I figure these black pieces probably going to be used over there, so I'll just push them to the back here. All right. Let's see what we've got. For his arms, it doesn't look like that we can build them up at the same time. Oh, that needs to come over one. We're going to really pay attention here. We do not want to have to destroy what we build. That one goes there. But because obviously his hands are different on each side of his body, we're going to build these arms up separately. There we go. Make a little elbow joint probably. Make sure that's facing up the right way. They're probably not going to be really huge or thick because his arm is getting skinnier as it goes down. There is quite a few pieces here to make it happen, so kind of put some detailing on it, I'm sure. We're going to turn this around. Everything looks good so far. I'm afraid that I'm going to be completely sucked in, and I'm going to end up going probably sooner than later and getting the smaller R2-D2 because it just doesn't seem right to not have his friend with him. Oh, they gave us more of these little ones. Okay. Take those off. Let's see what we're supposed to do to hook them on to. Okay, one of those pieces. But there we go. It's the same as before. And this is going to go right here. And little ligaments. What kind of reminds me of. Glad ours aren't showing. Let's put this piece on first. There we go. Oh, well, there you go. They needed this. That black piece went to his arm, not his stand. I kind of wish that they had these stands where they built them in to the actual base somehow, instead of just kind of having them where you set them off to the side, because it just kind of feels like it ruins the, like what am I supposed to do with this? You know, when you set it up for a display, it just kind of ends up kind of just off to the side of it, and I think maybe I would like it if it was, let's see, it's facing this way. There we go. Like it a little bit more if it was attached to it. But that's just me being fussy again. Okay. Wait, we get to put a sticker on, but we're going to flip it. We need sticker number 8. Put it on here. Oh, that's the inside of his hand. Okay, so this is his thumb, and now we're going to put his fingers on so he gets... Oh, piece just flew right off. Little thumb-looking piece didn't like that at all. Now, why is he not... Oh, gosh. You're supposed to have this on it. I must be tired. So there's 4 of them on here. I'm not sure how close we have to put them together for 4 to fit. I might be putting them a little too close. Too bad. You can separate them out a little bit if you wanted to. Nice fingers. Okay. Now we're going to hook that onto... Let's see, they have this facing this way, and then his hand goes in like that. And we're going to set that to the side. Now we're going to build up his other one before we zoom up and put him all together. We may actually even build the base down here and then, or not the base, the little sign. And then put his arms on as his crowning moment. Can you even imagine if he was real and I took him downstairs and put him right next to the the much bigger R2-D2? Can you imagine what he would go on about? Let's see, this goes here. Now this side is just a little different than the last one. Maybe just a bit. Or maybe I'm just, no it's not. I'm just tripping. The closer it gets to the end of the day, the more tired I get. Oh, I don't like that hole being up there. This side had a little bit of a hole in it, so we'll just kind of, we'll hide it. Not because it was that bad, it's just this piece. Wait a minute. We forgot this piece on there. That's much better. Now, we have to do his hand. I like the pieces that they used to do his hand. Let's not forget that little square that is needed to go on his thumb. Now we still have that correct. But the use of these kind of horn-looking pieces made an absolutely perfect thumb, or fingers. And the piece they used for his thumb is pretty good too. That goes that way. Now, this is the part where we have to put this on. It's like to the side, that little part of the picture, if you're not paying attention, and then you completely lost that went on. We have our last sticker, yay! Let's put this on right. It looks like this part goes towards the joint. There's something about it that's, I put these on the wrong side. Like there's something about this that is just not quite right. I'm trying to make a the other side of his Now, did I do it right? Oh my goodness, it was flipped over. I hadn't done it wrong at all. When you flip it, it's on that side. I was going to put the sticker on the gold. Yeah, it is definitely time for me to stop building. Oh, this is funny. At least it gives you something to laugh at. Give you full permission to laugh at me. Let's put his fingers on. And then we'll hook it onto his arm. Now let's make sure his arm is aiming the right way. So this part's up and then that part goes in. We'll hook his arms on. Okay, it looks like that we'll just hook his arm straight on. So like I said, we'll wait for just a second. Even though we're very impatient to finish him, I'm sure. Although I am putting words in your mouth there. But I'm pretty sure you're excited to finish him as well. Well, this thing is the easiest part we've built, isn't it? So that just snaps down right onto there. And this part, it's like they put this on, and then what am I supposed to do with this? Maybe we'll put it there. But look, we get to build another C-3PO. He was much easier to build. Let's zoom up and finish this guy. Here we go. Now he has those red rods in there that we're going to put in. And this is how you could move his arm this way or this way. You could put him in a couple different positions just by pushing it in there. So we'll put that one that way and we'll maybe aim this one down. Oh my. Oh, and see, this part moves too. So he has actually quite a bit of movement. He's holding his hips there. Wow, okay, well he is all done. He was a lot of fun to build. Gave me a few hiccups there, but I had a lot of fun building him with you, and I hope to see you again very soon.